Hi, welcome to your channel Versatile for You. My name is SN Ali and it's our 7th lecture of Python tutorial in which we will discuss about Python loops. And in previous lecture we had studied about the decision making statement, Python conditional statement. So in the previous lecture, in last lecture, I was give you an assignment to make a calculator. So I hope you all are done it. So this was the code of this. First of all, I want to share it with you before starting the lecture. So this was the code in which first I print calculator. It will print calculator, then it want two numbers from us, and numbers is integers, and here you saw eval, AVAL, evaluation. It means it's maybe integer or it's float value. So eval for both integer and floats. So you can see the code and understand it. So first run it. Yes, it asking for a number. First it show us calculator, and then he asks for first number. Here if I write 54, enter it. Then he asking for second number. So here I write 6, then enter. Then it write here select operation from followings: plus for addition, minus for subtraction, multiply sign for multiplication, and this sign for division, and enter operation number. So here I write if multiplication sign, then enter it, then it will show us the answer. So this works like this. So now in this lecture number 7 we will study about Python loops. We will study what are the loops and how it works, and so let's start it. Python loops. So why we use Python loops? When you want some statement to execute 100 times or several times, you don't repeat them 100 times. Think of when you want to print number 1 to 99, or that you want to say hello to 99 friends. In such case you use loops. So there are 4 types of loop: Python for loop, Python while loop, Python loop control statements, and nested for loop. So in this lecture we will study all the loops in detail. So watch it with full concentration so that you can understand easily. So let's start it. In this lecture we will study first we will study about Python while loop. So what is Python while loop? While loop in Python iterates till its condition become false. In other words, it executes the statement under itself while the condition it takes is true. So let's do an example of Python while loop. So here if I write a is equal to, I take variable a and assign value 3 or 7 according to our choice. So on the next line I write while, and then I write condition if a greater than 0, then colon, and on next line print a. So on next line a is equal to a minus is equal to 1. So first understand this code. So first of all we assign a value 7 to a variable a. On next we insert while loop. So here while means it's while loop, and here I write condition a is greater than 0. So it's mean the while loop will run till the a become greater than 0. So it means it run, and first the value of a is 7, so it runs value become 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we know 1 is the greater than 0, so it runs till 1. So here we write minus sign a minus, so it will decrease from a and is equal to 1. So this line means there is a decrement in the value of a of 1. Minus mean decrement and 1 means of 1. So here we write 2, so it's mean, if we write 2, so it's mean there will be a decrement of 2. And if we write here plus, then it's mean it's increment. The value of a will increase for 2 each time. So run it. It shows 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. So here if I write greater than and equal to 0, so it also considered 0 as right. So here if I write 20 instead of 7 and we want decrement of 2, so run it. So it shows 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, etc. So we can also write a table. For example, here we write 0, or if we want the table of 6, then here we write 6, and here we write it's mean when till when the loop will run. So here I write a is less than or equal to 60. So print a. Now here I want increment of 6 each time. So let's check. It will show us 6, 12, 18, 24. It will show the table of 6. So if we want to I will show you how it works with an example of the flowchart. Here you can see while loop. So first while loop goes to the condition. So what is the condition? Here this is the condition of while loop. A is greater than or is equal to 0. So means loop will run till this condition become true. So first go to condition. If the condition is false, then loop stop. But if the condition is true, it goes to the block of code and again go to the condition. And whenever the condition becomes true, it execute the block of the code, and when the condition is false, it stop the loop. So Python while loops, there are infinite loop, there are else statement for while loop and single while loop. These are the types of while loop. So discuss each type step by step. So an infinite loop. So be careful while using a while loop, because if you forget to increment the counter variable in the Python or write flawed logic, the condition may never become false. If the condition may never become false, so to stop the execution, press Ctrl plus C. For example, if we write code by mistake, for example, if we write here plus, so as you see, if there is increment on 20 of 1, then this is the condition, a is equal to 0, so it will never come. So it will run it, and it will, you can see it runs and never stop. So for stop this, you can Ctrl plus C, you can press Ctrl plus C and this stop. So And there is a Python else statement for while loop. A while loop may have an else statement after it. When the condition becomes false, the block under the else statement is executed. However, it does not execute if you break out of the loop or if an exception is raised. So for example, here I write the code. Here I write decrement of 2. So now we can also use else statement. Here I write else is equal to, now print, so here I print anything, for example reached 0. So now run it, so it show like this. So here I write is like this, I remove is equal to sign. So now you can see 20, 18. So here if I want decrement of 1, then run it again. So it's run from 20 and goes till reach 0. So we can also use else statement in this loop. So now go forward. Python single statement. So before this I can show you another example of previous Python else statement. So here you can also write, for example here you can enter it, and if a is equal to 1 and then break means stop. So here you use semicolon after break and then use else print something reached 0. So now run it, so it show like this. So when it equal to when it's equal to 5, then break. So it break when it's equal to 5. So here you write break 5. So you can code according to your choice, according to your requirements. So now Python single statement while. So like an if statement, if we have only one statement in while's body, we can write it all in one line. So how we can write it, now I'm showing you how you can write it. So now remove it or uncomment it. So now here we write a is equal to 15. On next line, while now a is greater than 0, colon and space, then print a, then semicolon. Semicolon is used in Python. They usually use semicolon, colon, not semicolon, but there are also used semicolons in some situation when you write the code in one line. So a minus is equal to 1, so it also run it, so it show from 15 to 1. So this is all about Python while loop. You can do as many operations, you can perform many operations as you like from while loops. Is very useful. So now Python for loop. Python for loop can iterate over a sequence of items. The structure of a for loop is in Python is different than that in C++ or Java. So in C++ and Java we write integer I is equal to 0, semicolon I is less than n and etc. So in Python we don't use like this, we just use in keyword, in keyword. So how it runs? So for loop first go to the item of sequence. So if it's false then it stops, but if it's true then it goes to block of statement, and it's it's just like the while loop. So first run it. There in Python for loop there is range keyword also used. So for example here I write for a is a variable, in it's a keyword for loop, and I write range. So now I write here anything. For example I write 7, then colon, then on next line I write print a. So now run it. So it will show from 7 values from 0. So it shows 7 values. So if I write here 8, so it will show from 0 to 7, 8 values total. So here if I write a plus 1, so it will show. So a means, just if we write a, so it means it's run from the index and it show 8 values from 0 to 7. So here if I write plus 1, so it will, the first value will be so a means, here a means 0, so first value will be 1. So if I write here plus 2, then check it, so the first value will be 3. So 2, first value will be 2. So like this you can perform for loop. So there are also some subparts in for loop. For example the range function, iterating on list or similar constructs, iterating on indices of a list or similar constructs, the else statement for loop. So we discuss each of them step by step. So range function, first of all, this function yields a sequence of number when called with one argument, say n. So it creates sequence of number from 0 to n minus 1. So first do an example of this. So here I write print list. We can also use list here. So here I write range, and I write any range. For example I write here 10. So now print it. So list means it will show us in list. So it shows 0 to 9, 10 values. So we can also convert the range object into a list object by operating the by inserting list keyword, calling it with 2 arguments, create a sequence of number from first to the second. So for example here I write 2, 7. So it will show us from 2 to 7, not including 7, 1 less than 7. So here I write 2 to 20, so it 2 to 18, 19. So you can also use pass 3 arguments. The third argument is the interval. So here if I want the interval of 2, so there will be an interval of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like this. So if you want here from decreasing values, so write here 20, here 2, and the interval of -2. So it comes from 20 to 2, by the decrement of -2, like this: 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6 and 4. So this is about range function. And now iterating on list or similar constructs, you are not bound to use range function, so you can use the loop to iterate on a list or similar constructs. For example, you can use for loop for a in. You can not bounded to use range function. Here you just write 1 2 3, then print a, so print it will show 1 2 3 like this. So you can also use the curly braces as we read in tuples. So here print a. So here if I in a tuple I write 2 or 3 more than one time, so it will execute it only one time. So run it, it show 1 2 3 like this. So you can also print a word. For example, here you write anything. I write Python, so print it, it show like this: Python, each word in each line. So here iterating on indices of a list or similar constraint. The length function return the length of the string. So here if I write, for example, first of all I take a list, it's a variable, list is equal to, I write here anything, for example English, here I write Urdu, and Punjabi. These are the languages. So now on the next line I use for I in range. Now here I use len function, len, and here list. So colon, and now I print it, print list in the square braces. So now run it, it shows each word in separate line. So the else statement for for loop, like a while loop or for loop, may also have an else statement after it. When the loop is exhausted, the block under the else statement execute. So let's do an example of it. Here I write for loop for I in range 4. So here I print I. Now else print reached else. So now run it. So check it says run from 0 1 2 and 3, and then after it will show us the 4 values from 0. So here if I write I plus 1, so it runs from 1 to 4. So as we studied previously, it's just like that. You can also use break statement here. For example, here you write if statement here. If I is equal to, here use is equal to 2 times as I told you earlier. So now use break keyword. So run it. So it will show like this, equal to 3. So run it again. So 0 to 3. So here if I write 5 to 7 values, for example 5 values, so it will not go to 4 or 5 because we use here break, but here I remove it. So now it runs. So this was about the for loop in Python. So there is nested loop for Python. You can also nest a loop inside another. You can put a for loop inside a while, or a while inside a for, or a for inside a for, or a while inside a while. You can put a loop inside a loop. So I can show you with an example. So here you write for I in range, if I take range 1 to 6 and then colon, and on next line I also so take another for loop for j in range I. Now I print it. Print, I use static here for print stars. Now I use end when this statement will end. So here I use I remain this empty, and on the next line I print, write print, and like this. So here I maybe it's a dentation error, so like this. So it shows like this, 1 star, 2 stars, and 3, 4, 5, like this. So this is about the nested loop. You can also perform many other operations according to your different values in this. So at last, loop control statement in Python. Sometimes you may want to break out of normal execution in a loop. For this we have 3 keywords in Python: break, continue, and pause. As I earlier used breaks keyword, and you can also use continue statement for continue, and you can use so you can use pass statement, so to pass. So for first there is a break statement. So when you put break statement in the body of a loop, the loop stop executing and control shifts to the first statement outside it. You can put it in a for or a while. So for example, here if I write for I in break, or I in, for example here I write my name. So now print I. On the next line I use if I is equal to A. So when it, so here I write A. So when it reach to A, it breaks. I use here break statement. So you can see their small a in my name is on the 1, 2, 3, 4th number. So now you use semicolon here. So now run it. So it show AHSA, not N, because I write here break statement when it reach to A. So this is the purpose of break statement. So there is also continue statement. When the program control reach the continue statement, it skip the statement after continue and then shift to the next item in the sequence and execute the block of code for it. You can use it with both for and while loop. So for example, here I write I is equal to, I use while loop here. So while I is equal to 0, while I is less than 8. So now colon, and on next line I plus is equal to 1. So there will be the increment of 1 value in the I. So here I use if statement. If I is equal to 6 and continue. So here I write continue new and print I. So it shows 8. So if I write like this, there is a indentation error. Yes, so it will not break, it's continue. Well, there is the no purpose of continue statement. If you don't use, then it automatically continue. So at last there is the pass statement. So you can also use pass statement here. So in Python, the use of pass statement to implement steps when we need a particular loop, class or function in our program but don't know what goes in it. We place the pass statement in it. It's a null statement. The interpreter does not ignore it, but it performs no operation. So this is all about our lecture of Python loops, in which we have study about Python while loop, for loop, nested loop and loop control statements. So I hope you like my explanation. So meet you in next lecture. Take care. Bye.